Hi there. Can Lucid be the next Tesla? As you can see, the market cap is around 10 billion. And if it goes to 100 billion or even more, then you can have more than 10x on your investment. And that will be great. So this is a possibility. They have a chance. But you also have to be aware of the risk. Because if you look at the stock price, you can see that it's down over 50% from its IPO. Now, if you have invested at the highest peak, when the stock price was around $55, then your return would have been minus 90%. So this is bad and you want to avoid something like this. As I said, they have their chances, they can grow this business more in the future, but you also have to be aware of the risk. So let's start with the analysis. First, the reward. As you can see, the revenue is expected to grow a lot in the future. From 600 million to over 12 billion by 2027. And their earnings are expected to be with minus. They currently have high losses because they have to invest more in their infrastructure, in their factories, so that they can produce more cars. And as you can see, for this year 2023, it is expected a huge loss, over 3 billion. And next year, about the same, minus 2.6 billion. And those losses are expected to go lower and lower. Of course, if Lucid becomes profitable, let's say in 2025 or 2026, then the story will change and the stock price will go up. But as I said, there is also risk, not only opportunities. If you look at the latest quarter, Q2, you can see that they produced over 2,000 cars and they delivered 1,400. But if you look at the revenue, it was quite small, around 150 million. If you compare the revenue with their current market cap, the stock price is quite overvalued. However, the market thinks that Lucid will grow more in the future, as you saw the estimates. Now, Lucid is doing quite well. They have enough money to fund their operations and invest in their infrastructure, especially in their facilities. As you can see, their total liquidity is around 6 billion. They raise more money from investors by issuing more shares of about 3 billion in Q2. So that's why they have so much cash on hand. And they expect that they can fund their operations with this money into 2025. So Lucid will survive the next 2 years, as they have enough money to fund their operations and future expansion. Moreover, they are developing new products, new cars. For instance, Lucid Air, Gravity, and others. They also released the production deliveries for Q3. They produced 1,500 vehicles and delivered 1,400. So their deliveries have increased a little compared to Q2, from 1,400 vehicles to 1,457 vehicles. It's not a huge increase, but they keep going. And of course their production has decreased from 2,000 to 1,500. As interest rates went up, people can no longer afford to buy a new car, especially an electric car, a luxury electric car, because Lucid is focusing on the luxury segment. As you can see here, their cars. They look amazing, and their prices are quite high, about $100,000. Of course, they got more awards, and they expect to continue to deliver more products like this. If they succeed, then the stock price may go up. Now, their guidance is that they expect more than 10,000 vehicles in 2023. As I said, they have enough cash to fund their operations into 2025, and their capital expenditures are expected to be around 1.3 billion in 2023. And in 2024, they may be higher, as they have to expand their business. Plus, they're expecting to release new products, like Lucid Air and Gravity, their SUV production, which is expected to begin in 2024. Now, if you look at their balance sheet, you can see that they have over 5 billion in cash, but they also have some debt, about 2 billion. However, for the next 2 years, they can survive. They have enough money. But you have to be aware of their revenue. As you can see, in the last quarter, they made 150 million revenue, but their losses were huge, over 700 million. So they spend more than 700 million to make 150 million revenue, and that's huge. Of course, they are at the beginning. They have to invest in their facilities to expand their business, to create new products, and that's why their losses are so high. In addition, as they have so many losses, they will need more money to invest in their business, even though they have enough cash for the moment. But when this cash is burned, because as you saw, their expenditures are expected to be over 1 billion a year, then they'll have to find a new way to raise more money. And the easiest way is to issue more shares. As you can see, the number of shares has increased from 24 million to over 1.8 billion in 2023. And that is huge. They also said in their presentation that they raised about 3 billion through a public offering. This means they issued more shares. So it's likely that you'll see more dilution in the future. Now, as you saw the risk that this business may not become profitable, and there is the risk of future possible dilution, you also have to look at the valuation. As you can see, it is expected more than 12 billion revenue by 2027. And now the market cap is around 10 billion. And I don't know if you know, but the average price to sales for the automotive industry is about 0.2. So if Lucid doesn't grow more in the future, then the market cap will be around 3 billion. So as the market cap is over 10 billion, the stock price is quite overvalued. Now, if they can grow more in the future, let's say the revenue may double again or grow even more, then Lucid may be a good investment. But you have to be aware that your return will depend on their future profits. If they can become profitable and sustain their operation to fund their expansions, then you'll do well as an investor. But if they don't become profitable, the revenue doesn't grow more in the future, then your return will be like this. A huge decline. And you want to avoid something like this. So it's up to you. If you want to focus on the risk first, to avoid a decline like this, or you only want to focus on the reward and have an increase in the stock price like this, over 400%. But be aware, now the market cap is 10 billion, and that return may not happen because there is huge competition. It's unlikely that Lucid will go bankrupt because, as I said, they have enough money to fund their operations, about 6 billion, and also the market cap is around 10 billion, and if they need more money, they can issue more shares. But your return won't be that great. That's why you have to focus on the risk first. Lucid is a risky investment at the current level, especially as the market cap is about 10 billion. Even though the revenue is expected to grow a lot in the future. But you also have to focus on their profits, if they can become profitable. If they can, and grow the revenue even more in the future, then Lucid may be a good buy at the current level. That can happen. That's why you have to put in balance the risk and the reward. The chances that this business will become profitable are quite low, and you have to be aware of the risk. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments.